10 games that changed gaming, well, for me at least. This is kind of a response video to Retro Gamer Boy. He did one of those videos where he talks about the best games for each generation. I kind of took a different route in it and wanted to just talk about a couple games that really changed the way I thought about gaming, or that changed my gaming patterns, how many time I spend gaming, what type of games I'm playing, and stuff like that. So let's start the countdown. Number 10. Number 10 is Star Fox for the N64. In Europe it came out as Lylat Wars. This is, well, the first time I got introduced to Star Fox, because I never played Star Wing or Star Fox on the SNES. To me, it was always this kind of thing like, this is the way a space shooter should be. It felt kind of like you're playing Star Wars, but yeah, beforehand, I knew about asteroids, I knew about Space Invaders, but those were just like, you know, top-down or just a 2D kind of thing. This was in 3D and it looked really good. So, Star Fox, you're in the tiny planes, in the Star Wings, you're shooting around with lasers, and to me that was just like insane. You could also take different routes on how you wanted to finish the game, so you'd go to this planet first and, you know, take a shortcut or something. So that to me was just insane. I think I borrowed the game from a friend of mine, and then I was like, next birthday, or, you know, a good report card, I was like, Mommy, I want the Star Fox game with the airplanes and the lasers. And I remember playing this game religiously, trying to get to the end. That definitely changed my view on 3D space shooters, because you also had a ton of really cool Star Wars games on there, but I didn't play them back in the day. And like a lot of stuff in this list, you know, as a kid, you get some games, but you don't really get to decide everything. It sort of depends on what your parents want to give you, or when they buy it and you don't end up going to the store with them because it's a gift, because it has to be a surprise. You know, some stuff you just didn't know about back then, but luckily I was fortunate enough to borrow Star Fox and get one for my own collection. And then we move on to number 9. Number 9 is Kirby's Adventure for the NES. I didn't really have an NES growing up. My aunt did, and she had like 40 games that came with it. The first time I was introduced to Kirby was on the regular Game Boy, and it was just Kirby's Dream Land, where, well, you know, you're the white. I didn't even know he was pink back then. You're just a white balloon. You can suck up enemies and shoot them out. But in Kirby's Adventure, you can actually suck up the enemies, press down, and you get their abilities. And it was like having 30 or 40 different power-ups, which was insane to me. Also, the fact that you had a ton of levels within the little levels, because the level would expand when you would open a door, and a couple of new doors would open up and you could go in there. Sometimes it would just be a small game, sometimes it would be an extra level, or just, you know, one of those statue things where you can go in, you get the ability, and then you move on to the next level, allowing you to beat it. Kirby's Adventure to me was like, damn, this is Kirby's Dream Land Deluxe, and I'm loving it. So I played that game to death back in the day. Number 8. Number 8 is GTA 2. It is one of maybe 3 games I played on PC back in the day. I did have a PC back in the day. I wasn't really into the PC, but I saw my friend playing GTA 2 one time, and I decided to go buy it for myself. I installed it, and I think for the next 6 months, every day after school, I would just hop on to the computer and start killing frenzy. You know, start playing GTA 2. Totally love that game. I still love diving into this game, grabbing a car and just driving around, making havoc all over the city, getting the cops to come after you. And then I remember finding the tank once, and that just opened up a whole new Pandora's box of chaos. You know, you get the tank, you start piling up on cars, the cops would come in and you start shooting and stuff. I didn't really do the missions. I just, you know, after school, a long day of school, I just wanted to, you know, crash cars and drive around and, you know, just have fun, and that was perfect for this game. So that was one of my only PC gaming experiences back in the day, but I love that game, man. So good. So good. Number 7 is a really popular game. It was popular because of the cartoon series, because of the trading cards, and it was also a really good video game. It's called Pokemon Blue or Red, whichever one you got back in the day. I got the Pokemon Blue one because, well, it had a turtle on it, it had Blastoise on it, and I'm really into the turtles, so I had to get the blue one, and of course I picked Squirtle as my first Pokemon to go train with. Now, the thing about Pokemon is, usually when there's like a cartoon running and there's a toy line or trading cards, something like that, the games suck because, you know, they're licensed, it's usually crap. But over here, I think it started out as a game where you get all the pocket monsters. You really need to collect them all in this game. And it's the first time I got introduced to an RPG, so you would play, you go and save, and then the next day when you start playing again, you'd move forward from where you saved last, which was great because like the only games I used to play before that was like Mario Land, Super Mario Land and stuff like that where, well, you know, you died, you start from the beginning again. But no, not in this game. This game was amazing, and the amount of hours I spent on this game trying to find the Pokemon, trying to get out of these dungeons, trying to, you know, become a Pokemon trainer, master, or whatever it is. It was so much fun, and not only did I enjoy myself, but also all of my friends around me had the game. During school recess, we would hook up. We would also hook up the Game Boys and, you know, trade Pokemon with each other. So it was really all of us trying to get to the last gym, trying to beat the game, and we were all heading towards the same direction, you know. Oh, you already beat that badge, oh, I still gotta do that, and how do you do this? Because, well, this was before the internet, and we were kids, so we didn't really know what to do. But yeah, and then when we found out about the cheat code where you can get like an endless amount of rare candy, oh man, that just totally blew my mind. So yeah, I was really into this game, as you can tell, and I still think it's one of the best gaming experiences I had. And only till about 10 years later when I started playing Zelda games, yes, it took that long. Sorry guys, sorry. I realized, hey, that's actually an RPG. I always thought RPGs were stupid back in the day because, well, it's what the nerdy kids would play. Apparently not, they're awesome. So yeah, I redeemed myself and I've played every RPG I can get my hands on since then. But moving on to the next game that changed gaming for me. Number 6. Number 6 is Sonic 2. Yeah. My nephews actually had a Mega Drive back in the day. I was a Nintendo kid. They had the Sega. They also did have a Game Boy. But their home console was a Sega Mega Drive. And I think it was Model 2. But anyways, one time when I went over there, they had this Sonic game, Sonic 2. And damn, Sonic was fast. I was used to playing, you know, Mario games. So you're kind of like going jump on the enemy. But this thing, you're collecting rings, you're jumping, it goes so fast. The blast processing, I didn't really hear about this campaign with all the Sega does what Nintendo don't. It didn't really reach me, but this was like, this is a whole new level of gaming. This goes so freaking fast, and you know, they had the game for like a month or two, so they would just rip through it, and whenever I wanted to play it, it was like, okay, move a bit over there. Yeah, alright, I'll jump over. Oh, crap, I'm dead. But they would just rip through that, and that totally blew my mind back in the day. So, Sonic 2 definitely showed me what the Mega Drive was capable of, and actually a friend closer to where I was living also had one, so I ended up playing it with him too. And yeah, that was my introduction to Sonic, one of the gaming characters I always liked ever since then. Number 5. Number 5 is actually another GTA game. I started getting into guitar stuff, so I didn't really buy any games anymore. I didn't really play any games anymore. I was just playing guitar. But over at the rehearsal space, where our drummer's back house, he had like a TV hooked up with a PlayStation 2, and he had GTA San Andreas, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. I remember playing GTA back on the PC, you know? And GTA San Andreas is just a big sandbox where you grab a car, you start driving around. You have to do missions to get into certain parts of the game because otherwise you just get a ton of cops on there, which was also fun, but we would just play it, you know, here, just play until you die and then we'll move then you can get the controller, you know, and play a bit. And that was just insane. So actually a friend of mine gave me the PC version. So again, I had the PC version. I hooked it up on my laptop and got like a PlayStation controller thing with a USB. And I was playing it too, you know, getting through all the missions and stuff. And yeah, I was really invested in this game once again. And actually ever since, I haven't played any of the other GTA games because that experience playing GTA was just so much fun. And you know, I was thinking, you know, I'm gonna be an adult now, and this gaming didn't seem to fit that picture, and boy was I wrong, because now ever since I've become an adult, the only thing I do is buy games. But anyways, GTA San Andreas, one of the best and most fun gaming experiences. Definitely as a young adult, that's one of the games that you can't live without. It's so much fun. Number 4, from a really big sandbox game going to an even bigger sandbox game. This is one of the most recent titles in my top 10 list, and it's called Breath of the Wild. Yeah, a Zelda game. I bought it on the opening day when the Switch came out. I got my Breath of the Wild copy to go along with my Switch, and I started playing Zelda in a 3D open world. Of course, you had Ocarina of Time and stuff like that before, but nothing can measure up to how big this freaking game is. Link got a lot more abilities to do in this game. You can climb, you can jump, you can, you know, fly around and stuff. And before you really start the game, you're actually on a plateau where you have to do a couple of missions or get a couple of things before you get like the kite, which allows you to fly off the platform. But the platform is as big as like a regular game would be. So at first I was like 9 hours into this game. I remember playing this religiously, just, you know, going to sleep, playing it from 9 in the morning till 4, and then going like, maybe I should stop for a second, and then it would be 6, I would stop and go get something to eat, and then from 8 till like 1 at night I'd still be playing that game. I put so much hours into this and actually completed all of it, and it's one of the games I like to recommend. Some people don't think it's really a Zelda game, but I really like it. It works well within the Zelda universe, and it's one of the most fun games I've had the pleasure of completing, really. So Breath of the Wild, oh, I hope they make like a Breath of the Wild 2 or something like that, but that is one of the best gaming experiences so far for really new games. I really enjoyed that. Number 3. Number 3 is Super Mario World. Like I said a couple of numbers ago, I did have access to an NES. I played Super Mario 1, 2, and 3 on there. That was a ton of fun, but a friend of mine actually had a cart that had Mario 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think Lost Levels was on there too. But it also had a new game for the SNES. It had Super Mario World, and this was like, you know, a really upgraded Super Mario game. I had my own Mario games on the Game Boy, and that's, you know, basic stuff. But this thing, Super Mario World, oh my god, I enjoyed playing it so much over at my friend's house. We would have sleepovers and just be playing Super Mario World the whole time, being like, oh, well, if you die, you get the controller. If I die, you know, trying to get to the end, and it was just perfect. It's just a perfect game. I love Super Mario World. So I definitely love Super Mario World. That's why I asked my mom for an SNES, and I ended up getting an N64, which was also cool. But yeah, of course now I have acquired Super Mario World, and I've finished it a couple times. So that is also one of those games that was just like, I knew what came before it, and then I saw this, and it was just like, yes, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted out of a new Mario game. So Super Mario World is my number 3 on this weird kind of list. Then we head into number 2. Number 2 goes to another Mario game. Can you guys guess which one this is? It came out on the Wii U and it's called Mario Maker. This game blew my mind. Oh damn, this totally blew my mind. I was like, wait, we can make our own levels now? So you could pick out of 4 different graphical directions you wanted to go, and you could go with the regular old Super Mario Bros. One, you could get the Super Mario World graphics, and you could just mess it all up, make your own game. And then the thing which made it so cool is you upload your level and other people can play it. So you could make a level, send it to your friend, hey, check this out, I made this, can you beat it? And that's what I did back then. I mean, I was already an adult, but I was playing this game every night, man. I was making new levels, trying to beat them, because you have to beat them before you can upload them. And then, you know, trying to one-up your friends, being like, hey, my level is more tough than yours, you know? But yeah, I spent a ton of time on that. I also got it for the 3DS, but on the Wii U is where I just went nuts with this game. So just the fact that, you know, you had a lot of people already, you know, making homebrews for the Super Mario World one, like Kaizo Mario and really tough Super Mario World, stuff like that. But this was just like Nintendo saying, hey, well, let's just make a game where you make your own game, you make your own levels and stuff, and it was perfect. It totally changed gaming for me. I was like, well, I'm creating, but it's also just still a Mario game. It's so much fun to enjoy this and enjoy other people's levels. It was really a community coming together of people that were really into difficult Mario levels. And then number 1 is going back into the past, over at my other friend's house. He had a PlayStation where he had a demo for Medieval. Medieval is the you know, the skull guy where you walk into a 3D environment. It's all with like some kind of scary graphics. It's so much fun. We played that demo to that, and then a bit later he got the game, so we ended up playing that. I ended up going over to his house a lot just to be like, oh, you want to play Medieval? And, you know, trying to get further in the game. So that was really one of those things where I was like, damn, I wish I kind of had a PlayStation, because at the time I had an N64. But Medieval, to me, that's one of my favorite memories about the PlayStation 1. You also had, you know, Tekken 3 and stuff like that, but the game that really set the PlayStation 1 apart for me from the N64 or whatever Sega was doing then was Medieval. I mean, it was, you know, gory, it was horror stuff, it was a really cool character, and I just loved that. So that's why it's not really number 1, but it's part of these 10 games that really changed gaming for me, and why I love collecting for all these consoles. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's coming to an end right now, and yeah, let me know in the comments down below which game changed your gaming life forever, and you know, type a little story around and we can start chatting about this stuff, guys. Be sure to brush your teeth and take your vitamins, and I will see you next week. Bye!